So, Peter, how can we use the clear coaching model in a more transformational way?
So the clear coaching model, which is contract, listen, explore, action, review, is a model that I first developed right at the beginning of coaching in the late 1970s, early 1980s. So it's about the same time as the Grow model. Slightly different, but similar sorts of process models of the stages within a coaching conversation and also the stages of a coaching relationship. Now, in each of those, there's a different way of being in each of those stages if you're doing performance coaching or development coaching, and if you're doing transformational coaching. So perhaps it would help if I looked at each of those 5 steps.
Yeah.
So in contracting, in traditional performance coaching, we may ask, what is it we need to focus on here? What do you want from this coaching session? As I said earlier, under the new paradigm of coaching, now we would say, well, what's the work we need to do together that your stakeholder world need us to focus on? But we'd also, to make it transformational, would say, so how would we know we've been successful? What would that feel like? What would that look like? So we're taking the levels of engagement and we're trying to get an embodied sense of outcome that we're going for. So how would you be if we really are successful in making that happen here? So there's almost a hint of the end in the beginning. And then besides contracting about the what, we would contract on the how. So how are we going to need to be together in order to do this piece of work? How are we going to need to partner? So the contracting phase has what's the work that the world needs us to do? What would success be like? That's the what we need to achieve. And then how do we need to collaborate and partner to achieve that? In the second phase, the listening phase, in performance coaching, we would do all the great coaching skills of accurate listening, playing back what we've heard, asking good questions. In transformational coaching, we would try and take the learning deeper, which is listening not just to the story, but listening to the embodied, listening with our whole body to how is that showing up in the other person, and how are we hearing that with all of us, not just our ears. And we would be feeding back not just accurately the words and being empathic, the feelings, but also what we're sensing in the pattern as we listen. And that leads us on nicely to the third phase of explore. In traditional performance coaching, we would ask, so what have you tried so far in dealing with that issue? What else might you try? What will be the consequences of each of those options? In transformational coaching, the explore may be going further into who do you know who could handle this? How would they do it? Can you step into their shoes to try and break a habit? But what's the wildest thing you could do? We often ask, just to free the limiting assumptions and beliefs that the person's holding.